Hola, mi gente. This is day 3, and yes, I speak Spanish. Um, Day 3 for you. I'm recording this in the same day because I've just been so inspired and so, just in love with life that I'm honestly kind of taking advantage of it. I'm taking advantage of it just a little bit, to share and create. And um, just as I speak to you on this, and just as I allow my voice to be heard, it has it has confirmed for me how much my soul was really like pulling me to do this. And honestly, like, in order to have the motivation to really do something, and like, for example, this, like, putting yourself out there, knowing whoever the heck is going to see this, and whatever, ideas can come up, I don't care. With love, I don't care. I'm doing this for myself. I'm doing this for myself, and also for the people that I know need to hear this, and I know need to see this, because I know that God has gifted me, God has really trusted me with a specific group of people. And if you know that you're in this, you know that you're part of this, you're going to keep feeling that call to come back and watch these videos. It's more than how do you say it? It's more than trying to just be intrigued. There's a deeper level of resonance that is going to land with you. Okay? This is awesome, guys. I pray over every single person on this call. I pray for every single person on this call soon watching this video, that you feel this. You deeply feel this in your mind, body, and spirit, and that whatever it is that you need to receive in this very moment, whether it be clarity, whether it be confirmation, whether it be, just the ambition, the inspiration, and the just the spark of joy, that you can do this. I pray that you receive this now. You are so lucky to be here at this time, in this now, in your body, in this space of where you live, and who you're around in your environment. Sometimes there's going to be moments where you just want to leave it all behind. Sometimes there's going to be moments where you think, this shit sucks. This shit sucks. I don't want to be here. I don't like these people. Like, I don't even like myself. There's always going to be moments like that, okay, guys? There's always going to be moments like that. But when you start and end your day, this is so, like, key and specific, but when you start and end your day with gratitude, it makes life a lot better. It makes life a lot better. Okay? And part of this is really just embracing, embodying, and distributing the energy, the frequency of gratitude. And for those of you that maybe the term frequency is newer to you. I haven't looked at a dictionary lately, so I can't tell you, Oxford thing, but I can tell you from my experience, what frequency is essentially like a unit of measurement for where on a spectrum you're operating from. And that can also be like if you listen to music operates from different frequencies. Quite literally, they will sound different. So it's the same thing when you are operating from a certain emotion, right? Foundationally, that emotion is a frequency. So the frequency of gratitude is one of the highest frequencies you can be in. Because when you are in gratitude, it doesn't matter if the situation is good or bad. It is. It is, and you can find gratitude in whatever it is. And when I was about, I don't know, maybe like 14, that was probably one of the hardest years of my life, 14 and 15, because during those years, first off, like it was the beginning of teenage years, right? And then there was multiple things going on. There was me having an inner battle with myself, with how I was showing up and how I felt inside. There was, family dynamics there that were really taking a toll on me. There was a lot of, for lack of a better word, chaos in my immediate environment. And simultaneously, me as someone who grew up as like knowing that I had a connection to the spirit realm, I, like, to a certain degree, I knew that, I was sensitive, really. I was sensitive to everything. Like, where I went, who I spoke to, if someone said something that was mean, if someone said something, that I didn't like, I was sensitive in all ways. Whether that was reacting with sadness or anger or sarcasm. And at that age, it was more, I would say a mix of sarcasm or just shutting down completely and not showing any emotion whatsoever and like retrieving. And at the time I didn't know that I was also navigating how to cultivate spiritual boundaries, and also physical boundaries, but more so spiritual boundaries, to understand and differentiate what I was feeling as an individual, what was mine, and what was other people's that I was taking in as my own. And so I was going through that, right? And for me, the way that I was able to cope at the time was drinking and smoking weed. And I didn't fully admit that at the time. For me, it was just like, I want to do it, and, this is the thing that people do, right? But at the same time, there was always a voice in my head of like, in moderation, like, it was just this very strong voice for me saying like, this could go really far left Is it far left for it? Like this could go wrong, like take a real wrong turn if you do not have the discipline. Period. And I think the good thing about it was not about that, but about what I knew about myself at that time was that part of it was because I thought I had to be perfect, right? But another part of it was that I didn't want to fuck up my life. Like I just that was what I was thinking. I was like I don't want to fuck up my life. And I think between that and like trying to attain perfectionism, that kept me from spiraling even more into, you know, a path that could have easily led to addiction. That could have easily led to, you know, just worse situations in my life. And yeah, like I was around various people, but it was normal. It was normal in school and in my neighborhood. Like that wasn't something that was odd. Like that was normal. And depending on where you live, you know, that can be different, but it wasn't anything out of the ordinary. Where I grew up in New York. And yeah, so it was that. And I think I was struggling in what was, I was struggling in math. Math was not it for me, and it was really like sucking me dry because I literally, I think at one point I failed a class, and for my inner perfectionist, I was like, oh, like I literally bawled in tears for I don't know how many. I was literally depressed from failing math class. Like that's how hard it that's how hard it hit. And yeah, and then it was just like, you know, not feeling heard, and also not feeling like I could tell anyone what was going on in my head and things I was feeling, you know. And yeah, I think I also, another layer to that was beginning to try to shift my attention to boys, and really it was coming from a place of, I would say, just wanting to be seen, or more so just validation, like wanting validation. So, and also I think at that time I was I was a bit boy crazy. Not like what's it called? Not obvious, but to me, I knew that. I knew that. Um and yeah, I think me turning my attention to boys, and this went more so on during the rest of my teenage years as I got a little older. um I I realized that, like, every time that I was engaging with a cute guy, or just wanted their attention, or, you know, wanted to go out with them or whatever, or date them, um it was coming from this deep desire to be, like, seen and held. And in that also, like, I realized that all those boys that I was with and around, on some deep level, they were also needing that and craving that, because that also, most of the time, sobriety wasn't in the picture during those encounters and being with these guys. So, like, reflecting on that, it made me realize how much, like, I just wanted to numb myself, and seeing that in another, like I realized how other people were mentally probably in a worse place than I was, because they literally could not be sober. They literally had to do something every single day to just get up, wake up, leave the house, like. And I really truly believe that because of the connection that I've just remembered and have cultivated and have nurtured since a little girl.
Yeah.
Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry, guys. I might, now that I think about it, there's probably going to be a lot of burping in these videos, because it's a physical way of clearing. And I know that some of the things that I'm sharing, like, in order for me to actually share it, I have moved past a lot of grief and shame and guilt and all these things. So that's why I can actually tell you. And at the same time, on a subconscious level, like, there's still, that sense of purging. So that's what that is. But, what was it saying? What was I saying? Yeah, so, like, all those things all together, that mix that started in my teenage years, it really just put me in a dark place. And there was a lot of days where I quite literally asked God, I was like, why am I here? Like, what's the point of me being alive? Like, would people actually miss me if I'm gone? And there was many times where I thought about it. I was like, what's the least painful way to just end all this? Because I was too chicken to do something drastic. So I was like literally thinking of ways. And no one knew this. And I'm sure if you have dealt with depression, and suicidal thoughts, that there's that frequency that is attached with that is shame. And that's the lowest possible frequency that you can be in. Because from that frequency, sometimes you just paralyze. You get straight up paralyzed from thinking anything positive. Forget gratitude. You'd be like, fuck that. Like, I don't care. I don't want to be here. So yeah, I had to honestly, I just had to survive at that point. That was my focus. Like, I really wasn't in gratitude during my teenage years. I was just like, get me through this day, and I also have to speak on the positive aspects of it. Of, I was also in sports, and I was also in a school that challenged me, and that also nurtured my interest. I went to a specialized visual arts high school, and in that, it was really like a college level conservatory experience of the craft. So every year I was a visual arts major, and every year we would have these core classes that really felt like I was in college. Like, I was like it was really cool and exciting, because I loved it. I love art. I've always loved art. So I had that to look forward to. Like I really truly enjoyed my those classes that I had, and I was in cross country and track, and I started running. I actually started running long distance when I was about 12, 13 years old, and then when I started high school, that's when I joined the team at school. So I kind of started doing like shorter distances in high school, and also around, well, actually simultaneously, because it was part of our training to do weight training, and also in my class schedule. So I was introduced to weight training, or like I actively started doing weight training around 14 as well, like supplementing that with my running training and all of that. And I was in sports before that since I was a little kid as well. But yeah, like that was something for me to focus on. That was something for me that I enjoyed, that really brought me like lightness and brought me a sense of purpose. And I really think that's what got me through, you know. It might not be something super huge, but running and painting, and what else did I do? Draw and lift some heavy ass shit. That's what got me through. You know, for some people it's cigarettes. For me it was that. And I have gratitude in this present moment. I have so much gratitude for that, and really shouting out my parents, because my parents showed me from a young age what it looked like to take care of yourself, your body, so to be specific, your body and your physical health, and the importance of that, and being active, and you know, just having the discipline to show up even when it's hard. So big shout out on that. And I yeah, I think all this to say was that I wasn't always in this state of gratitude, and I wasn't always kind of seeing the glass half full, and you know, just kind of being like, what's next, you know, like bring it. Or not really bring it, but more so like, it is what it is. That's my saying, guys. It is what it is. Like, at certain points, you might roll your eyes, you might sigh, you might be like, this is nuts, but it is what it is. And when you choose to acknowledge that, and release expectations, and release just the needs to control, and release yeah, just any attachment to an outcome. That's freedom. That's freedom, guys. That's freedom. And freedom comes in so many forms, but if you have ever asked yourself that question of like, or even said as a statement, like, I just want to be free from this. I just want to be free. I want to be free. And I don't know why I hear someone saying, like, I hear someone who will be watching this saying that over and over. I want to be free. I want to be free. I want to be free. You're free, honey. You are free. It's time that you wake up. if you continue to want, or if you continue to think that someone is going to come save you or change you or give you the everything that you need to change, you're going to be waiting a long time. And I say this with love. I say this with so much love, because I wish I had someone to speak to me when I was 14 and I was going through some deep, dark freaking shit that I didn't want to talk to anyone, or I didn't know who to talk to, because I was like, who will get this? Who will get me? So this isn't to say that you can't acknowledge and you can't honor the grief and the pain and the things that straight up suck. I'm not saying that. What I am saying is, how many times are you going to tell yourself that story? How many times are you going to tell yourself the story that this person hurt me, or that I wasn't ready, I wasn't good enough to do this, or I'm never gonna be good enough, or just stories where they make you feel worse than what the reality of the situation is. And I can guarantee you that if you really have the intention and you really have just the desire to change, you have the desire and the willingness to change, life is going to be so much better for you. It's happening. It's happening. But it gotta start with you. It gotta start with you. I'm speaking to you because I'm reflecting back what you already know to be true. And at the same time, you can hear this and it goes in one ear and out the other. And you can continue to go through the motions, do the same thing you did yesterday, the same thing you did last week, the same thing you did last month. And you can go in tomorrow and start another day where you hate your life and you complain about your situation, and you think that whatever, you can do that. It's your choice. No one's forcing you. But what is it that you want from your life? What is it that you wish to experience in this lifetime? Do you want to be a grumpy, depressed, jealous, anxious, sad person? Do you want to live a life that is full of resentment and bitterness and just boring? Do you? Because I know I don't. And I had to be really real with myself and get real with myself. Because I was sick of my own shit. That's what needs to happen. If you get anything from this, in order to really change or have the will to change, you have to get to the point where you are fed up. Where you literally are like, I cannot take it anymore. And you know, I would love for the norm to be that you don't need to get to that point. And if you are watching this, I'm telling you, you do not need to get to that point. You do not need to get to that point. You can spare yourself. And what I'm doing is sparing a lot of pain, a lot of, you know, missed opportunity, a lot of just harbored emotion that needs to be released. I will spare you that if you listen. It doesn't matter how old you are. It doesn't matter how old you are. There's going to be something in this point in time that has pulled on you, that has brought you down, that has weighed, that has felt like a weight, that has felt like a chain wrapped around your neck and your wrists. There's something there that feels like that right now for you. And in order to break it, in order to like clear, cut, delete, erase, whatever, in order to do that, you need to have the will, honey. You need to have the will. And sometimes that will, that inner strength, that inner power will come from your rock bottom, or will come from just you simply admitting that you need to change. Something needs to change. So, I feel like I could go longer on this video, but I also feel like this is enough. So I'm gonna leave you with that, and I'll see you in the next video, guys. Thank you for listening.